All right, welcome to this explainer. We've all been there, right? You're rushing around, brushing your teeth, or maybe tackling a massive mountain of dishes, and the water just stops draining. Complete panic. Your very first instinct is probably to grab whatever terrifying chemical cleaner is hiding under the sink and just dump it down the drain. But hold on a second. Today, we're digging into real data from plumbing professionals to show you exactly why treating every single drain in your house exactly the same is, frankly, a huge mistake. We're going to diagnose these plumbing mysteries like real detectives.
So let's just dive right in. Look, a clogged sink looks pretty much identical whether it's in the master bath or the kitchen. It's just stagnant, gross water, right? But the actual suspects lurking down inside those pipes are completely different. Your bathroom sink is constantly under attack from things like hair and soap, whereas your kitchen sink, well, that's a totally different battleground, battling grease, starches, and leftover food scraps.
And this brings us to a quote that really hits the nail on the head. Because these materials behave so incredibly differently once they're inside your pipes, using the wrong fix can literally waste your time or worse, make the whole problem 100 times worse. Seriously, trying to dissolve a stubborn grease blockage in the kitchen with a product meant to melt hair in the bathroom, not only is it useless, but it can actually cause bizarre chemical reactions or harden that blockage into concrete.
Okay, here is the game plan for our investigation today. First, we'll look at the tale of two drains, then bathroom clogs, hair and soap, followed by the best bathroom DIY fixes. After that, we'll shift to kitchen clogs, grease and food, and the best kitchen DIY fixes. And finally, we'll wrap up with how to spot deeper plumbing issues.
All right, Section 1, the tale of two drains. Let's look at why treating every single pipe the exact same way is just a total recipe for disaster. Here's the thing. You absolutely have to put on your detective hat. You can't just guess. Proper diagnosis requires matching the specific clog symptoms to what genuinely goes down that drain. You really have to stop and ask yourself, okay, what exact materials have been washing down this specific drain over the last few weeks? It sounds super simple, I know, but keeping this one rule in mind is the foundational step to fixing things yourself without having to immediately call for expensive backup. Moving right along to Section 2, bathroom clogs, hair, and soap. Let's build our case and see what's actually happening in that specific environment. So, if your bathroom sink is backing up after you shave, wash your hands, or brush your teeth, you basically have four prime suspects. We're talking hair and fine debris, soap residue, tiny toothpaste particles, and skin oils. Now, honestly, none of those sound all that threatening on their own, right? But the problem isn't just one of them acting alone. It's what happens when they all throw a party together in the dark, damp environment of your plumbing. Check this out. When hair mixes with moisturizing soap and skin oils, they combine to create this incredibly sticky, gross mat. It literally coats the walls of the pipe, making the passage narrower and narrower over time. And it acts exactly like a net, catching every single bit of toothpaste and debris that floats by, just slowly choking off the water flow until, bam, you're staring at a sink full of murky water. Right, so Section 3, best bathroom DIY fixes. How do we logically break up this sticky monster? Step 1, always start simple. Just pull out any visible grossness from the strainer. Step 2, if the clog feels fairly close to the opening, grab a standard plunger. Often that's enough to just dislodge it. But Step 3 is your absolute secret weapon. Use one of those cheap, flexible drain snakes to literally hook and pull out that hair mat. You really want to avoid harsh chemicals right off the bat because they can be genuinely unsafe if they interact with unexpected stuff in your pipes. Plus, physically yanking out that hair mat is just way more effective than crossing your fingers and hoping a liquid burns through it. Okay, so once you've cleared the main blockage and your water is finally draining again, it's time for some maintenance. Enter the enzymatic cleaner. This is a super gentle treatment that uses natural enzymes to literally eat away at whatever organic buildup is left behind, and it is completely safe for your pipes. Just remember, this is a slow, gentle maintenance step. It is definitely not an instant magic fix for a totally backed up sink. All right, Section 4, kitchen clogs, grease, and food. Let's head over to the kitchen, where the environment is just drastically different. In the kitchen, the usual suspects completely change. Here, we're battling fats, oils, and grease, plus food scraps, sticky starches, coffee grounds, and heavy soap and detergent combos. This is especially true, by the way, if you're someone who rinses a lot of oily pans directly in the sink. Maybe you don't use strainers or you've been skipping out on your garbage disposal maintenance. Now contrast that sticky, stringy bathroom hair mat with what happens here. In the kitchen, you wash warm grease down the drain as a liquid, but as it travels, it cools off inside the cold pipe and completely solidifies. It turns into a rigid, solid block. And as it hardens, it grabs passing food scraps and coffee grounds, essentially building a brick wall right inside your plumbing. As you can guess, this needs a totally different approach.
Let's look at the actual steps to fix it. Section 5, Best Kitchen DIY Fixes. Time to tackle that rigid grease. Notice how we prioritize physically removing what we can first. Step 1 is all about prevention and immediate clearing. Scrape those plates into the trash or the compost. Don't rely on your sink to do the heavy lifting. Step 2 is perfect for minor, grease-heavy slow drains. Carefully run cycles of hot water to help melt and flush away loose residue. But if you have a true stubborn blockage, you hit Step 3. You've got to use mechanical clearing. A kitchen-specific drain snake can actually reach deep enough to break apart that rigid, hardened wall of grease and food.
Now, really quick safety pivot here because this is absolutely crucial. Never ever try to clear a kitchen clog that's connected to a garbage disposal without turning the power off first. Go unplug it or literally flip the breaker. You never want to stick tools, or worse, your hands, into a disposal unit that could accidentally engage. Always, always follow the manufacturer's safety instructions for clearing a jam safely. Okay, Section 6, Spotting Deeper Plumbing Issues. What happens when your standard DIY fixes just are not cutting it? This brings us to a major plot twist in this explainer. What if you've snaked the bathroom, you've flushed the kitchen with hot water, and absolutely nothing works? Well, sometimes the immediate sink, the one right there in front of you, isn't actually the culprit. You might be dealing with the completely wrong kind of clog entirely, meaning the blockage isn't right under the drain at all. It's lurking way deeper inside your house's plumbing anatomy. So if you witness any of these 3 symptoms, you need to pay very close attention. Number 1, multiple drains act up at once, like the bathroom sink and the shower are both draining slowly. Number 2, you hear repeated gurgling sounds coming from the pipes. Or number 3, water mysteriously rises in the sink even after you've cleared the immediate area. Any of these mean you've got a systemic issue hiding further down the main line. And depending on the room, those deep issues look very different. A bathroom might actually be suffering from a failing trap seal, maybe a venting issue that's stopping the air and water from flowing properly, or a secondary blockage very deep in the wall. Meanwhile, the kitchen, that could be choked by massive solid blockages well beyond just local grease, or even decades of accumulated debris totally downstream in your main sewer line. Listen, when you hit this stage of the investigation, when symptoms point to venting issues or a mainline blockage, it is time to put down the DIY tools. Seriously, call in the professionals. A qualified plumber can properly inspect the drain line, evaluate your venting, and actually treat the root cause so you aren't just repeating this exact same nightmare next month. As we wrap up this explainer, I really want you to think about your own home. Are you genuinely matching your fix to the material? Or are you just stuck repeating the exact same clog cycle over and over? Next time the water stops flowing, remember the tale of 2 drains. Be the detective, analyze the actual evidence in the sink, and choose the right tool for the job. It's going to save your pipes, save your time, and definitely save you money. So what's really lurking in your pipes right now? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and here's hoping your drains stay perfectly clear.